I think we are now ready to start. Arpan, I'll leave it to you.
Sure. Can we go on this slide? So, very good morning to everyone. And this is Arpan Makwana here. I am working with Evosys as Senior VP of Innovation and Strategy. So, what we would like to do today is talk briefly about the why chatbots are important, how we are utilizing these chatbots in enterprise environment or in corporate environment. We would also be talking about what the chatbot actually does and how it is helpful to the organizations. We have a live demo which Francisco is going to share with us, and we will also try to talk about how this chatbot can be deployed on different platforms and how it integrates back with your applications, whether they are Oracle or non-Oracle applications. So that's what's going to happen. I also see a few questions already on board, so I'll try to answer them during the presentation today, or we can take these questions at the end of the session. I'll be very happy to answer more and more questions coming from different people. So let's start quickly. So I am Arpan and I have Francisco with me, who is the founder of BotSupply. So let me just quickly introduce myself a little more in detail. So I've been working with Evosys since more than 10 years now, and I'm heading the innovation strategy. So what we do is we talk about applications like chatbots, artificial intelligence, machine learning, then robotic process automation. So these are all different kind of applications or solutions that we provide on top of regular ERP or EPM kind of applications that we have in the market. So if we, Francisco, if you want to quickly introduce yourself as well.
So Arpan, first of all, thanks for scheduling this webinar today, and thanks for all the people attending this morning. My name is Francesco. I'm one of the founders at BotSupply, and I'm mainly focused on building what we call a global ecosystem of partners, so that we can bring conversational AI to the biggest enterprises in the world. Arpan,
thank you.
You're going to give now, yeah.
Yeah, so a quick introduction to Evosys, what we do and how we are present here. So we started our organization like more than 13 years now, and we are present in more than 30 odd countries, implementing different types of solutions, which include artificial intelligence or ERP kind of solutions, or HR, finance, supply chain, business intelligence kind of solutions. So we implement all these different solutions. You can also see we have more than 1,200 customers across the globe, and we have more than 1,400 employees as of now working on different solutions that come from Oracle. So we have people who understand the application part or the technology part. We have subject matter experts from different verticals, and then we have people who help us to integrate these solutions with all their backend or corporate applications. So that's how we've been able to successfully serve a lot of customers across the globe. So that's a quick brief about what we do as Evosys, and we can move forward, Francisco.
And then, thanks, Arpan. Let me give a quick introduction to what we do at BotSupply.
Sure.
If I just need to recap everything that we do in a line, I'm gonna say that we help enterprises and partners to build multilingual Oracle bots with no code. We started our journey in the artificial intelligence and digital assistants space back in 2016. That is our only focus. That's the only thing that we do. We are based out of Copenhagen, Denmark, and we have for now customers across different countries, 15 as of today, across different industries. We've been working with pharma, with transport companies, with insurances. We see that the need for conversational AI is across industries, and just recently, 2 months ago, we've been awarded as Oracle ISV of the Year here in Copenhagen. And this morning, we'd like, as Arpan mentioned, we'd like to guide you through the conversational AI journey that Evosys and BotSupply are on together, and what are the benefits for the enterprises of actually delivering and deploying this kind of technologies. We're also going to go. I'm also going to be showing you a live demo of an HR chatbot. But before getting there, I want to spend just 2 minutes going through what are the trends, right? Why are we even talking about artificial intelligence and conversational AI? The main reason is that technology is evolving. Technology is changing quite rapidly, and if internet became mainstream only 20 years ago, even if it feels like 100 years ago already, we are today in a moment where technology allows us to even talk to a machine like Alexa or Google Home, or even chat with a machine like if you were chatting with a human, right? And this is why, and this is the reason why conversational AI is booming, to the point that there is an Accenture survey that shows, like in UAE, it shows how customers actually prefer AI over human advisors. 82% of the people say that they prefer it to human advisors because a chatbot can be available anytime, and 76% of the interviewers have said that they prefer it because it's way faster than a human. And when we look at the the benefits that a digital assistant can provide to a company, we can look at it, and we're going to go into more details into this, but we can look at it from different perspectives, and also who are the beneficiaries of the solution. For external chatbots or external digital assistants, we see that we can provide a better customer service to the end customer, because the brand, the company, your company, will be able to provide answers to the most common questions in a much faster and personalized way. When it comes, if we look at the supply chain experience that is so disrupted in these days, businesses can communicate and share information across each other is in a much more faster and reliable way. And when we look at the inside the enterprise, we can actually deploy digital assistants to boost and provide better customer employees experiences, which are extremely relevant nowadays, where more and more talent is scarce on a physical level, because the internet is opening up opportunities on a global scale. So even deploying digital assistants and provide your employees with the faster and better replies, that is important. So this being said, we are actually extremely excited about the opportunity that artificial intelligence and conversational AI are bringing to the market, and we really believe that you as an enterprise should be excited as well. Across the last 3 years, we see that the average on the lower side is that we can automate 20% of the low end and repetitive tasks that a human employee, a human worker executes on a daily basis. 20% means that you're saving one full day a week of work, which means on a yearly basis, let's say that there is only 40 working weeks, it means that you're saving 40 working days per year, right? And so if you look at it from that perspective, we think that there is an amazing opportunity for enterprises to be more productive, be more efficient, do more with less, while still providing extremely high quality services to both, again, customers and employees. And this is also why Evosys and BotSupply have decided to team up in this space. We want to mix the incredible experience that Evosys has in the Oracle space with more than 1,200 customers, with our own experience in terms of conversational AI and artificial intelligence to provide ROI, immediate ROI to some of the biggest enterprises in the world. And when we look at the Oracle ecosystem, since we are very much focused on that, as we mentioned, chatbots can be both internal for supply chain or employee experience. They could also be external for customer service, for example, or marketing, lead generation, whatever it is. And what we see being extremely powerful, especially if you are already an Oracle SaaS customer, is to actually deploy a digital assistant on top of one of your existing SaaS applications. So let's say we're going to get into an HCM kind of case. So if you think about your own HCM instance and you think about how many thousands of conversations you're answering on a manual basis, then hopefully the business case and the ROI calculation should be very quick also from your side. So what do we do actually at BotSupply, right? More from on a practical level. So how do we make sure that we take these trends and these opportunities and we channel into the everyday business and the everyday operations of our customers? So what we have done, we have built what we call the Content Management System, our own bot CMS. That is a management tool that allows Oracle customers and Oracle partners to build Oracle multilingual Oracle bots with no code. So it's a very easy to use, and I'm going to show you more in details in a live demo in a few minutes. But it's hopefully for everybody a very simple to use UI, where you don't need to be a developer at all to actually build an Oracle chatbot. You can go in, you can type. There are a lot of pre-built buttons, pre-built integrations to Oracle SaaS applications, but also to non-Oracle applications like Salesforce, Zendesk, any kind of CRM. So we want to make it easy for everyone to actually build an Oracle bot. We also make it available in 27 different languages. We cover Arabic, we cover Thai, we cover Chinese. Of course, we cover basically all of the European languages. So we really want to take this to enterprises across the world. It can be delivered on your own cloud. It can be delivered on our own cloud. That's up to you. And of course, it can be deployed on any kind of channel. It can be deployed inside your own HCM or ERP instance. It can be deployed on Messenger. It can be deployed on WhatsApp within the corporate application that you may have. That is something that really very much up to you. And so what we wanted to present today, Evosys and BotSupply together, is what we call Bot as a Service, our BaaS offering. And as mentioned before, we are trying to take all the experience that Evosys has in the ERP and HCM space, mix it with our experience in building chatbots for the enterprise, and we're coming up with some standard use cases for HCM, for example, available in multiple languages that already have all the connections to the most used HCM modules, so that you as an enterprise, you can basically buy this package and have 80% of the chatbot already in place. Then each and every customer will have some customization needed. That's what we will offer as well. But our idea is to come to you and make sure that 80% of the most common and repetitive HR cases can be automated from basically from day one. So we really have the goal of quick implementation time, low setup fees, and immediate ROI. Arpan, now we have a couple of slides on the HR cases. I think maybe you are an expert more than I am, so maybe you want to take it forward before I jump on a live demo.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So what we're trying to do here is, I'm just quoting an example of how you can utilize a chatbot in your corporate environment, right? So picking up HR as an example. So when you look at HR, you have your employees who are continuously referring back to the HR central team for different types of queries, like, what are the compensation leaves policy, or what is the per diem policy, travel policy, or what is the marriage leaves policy. So all these different questions go to the central HR team, right? What we are trying to do here is we are trying to automate the entire policy document of the organization, plus all the actionables like raising leaves, approving leaves, rejection of leaves, downloading your salary slips, and all the activities from the self-service perspective. So we automate the entire policy document plus actionables into a chatbot. So the HR central team will save a lot of time because they don't have to now answer to all the queries that come from different employees. So that's the first point. The second point is, when we have a new HR system, or we are planning to replace a system, or if there are new employees who are joining the organization, we always have to go in a repetitive training mode, how to use the HR application itself, right? But when you have a chatbot, you don't need to train people on how to use a chatbot. It's more like a self-service, a literal self-service that people can do because everyone uses chat these days. So it ideally cuts down the entire training or retraining time, and everyone can access the HR queries or the policies directly from the chatbot. The last point that I want to quote here is, the change management automatically reduces. So you don't have to convince people on using the HR application itself, because if you have people who understand chat, or who use chat on day-to-day basis, they can easily start interaction with the HR application using a chatbot. Now, whether you are using Oracle today, or you replace it with SAP or with Microsoft, it will not matter to the end users or to the employees, because they are still interacting to all these different applications using a chatbot. So that reduces the overall learning curve, and people can get more and more time to do better things or more meaningful activities, rather than just creating transactions in the HR applications. So here what I've quoted is the HR example. The same example is for finance, or for supply chain, or for procurement. So when I as a manager, if I want to see what are the POs which are pending to me, I can just talk on a chatbot, or ask the chatbot to show me all the pending POs. I can either approve all or approve one based on my decision. So whether it is HR, finance, or planning, budgeting, or financial consolidation, the chatbot can actually interact with all these different backend applications at once, and you can do all these activities from a common screen, or from a common chatbot. Similarly, we've also integrated chatbot with Siri. So we saw that in an organization there were a lot of people who were using iPhones. So we integrated that with Siri. So today they can just open up their iPhone and say, "Hey Siri, can you please show me the management reporting pack of this month, or the variance analysis of last month?" So I can do all the management reporting from Siri without having to open up any applications, or without having to depend on people to give me that information. So that is the power of using the chatbots with your enterprise applications. So we'll be happy to share more information or more videos with you after the session. But yeah, I'll hand it over to Francisco now.
Yeah, that's awesome, Arpan. Especially voice is gonna really be king in the next couple of years. We predict. So I can see that we are somehow running out of time. So I will be quick in showing a live demo. Let me. Okay. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can see the window. Yes.
Okay. So what I've done here, we created an Oracle HCM chatbot that is deployed for the sake of the demo on Facebook Messenger. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of things that can actually be fully automated through a digital assistant. I will also briefly show our CMS from where you can easily build, edit, and deploy an HCM chatbot. So let's get started. I will just spend again a couple of minutes on this, and then hopefully we can spend some time on some Q&A. Okay, so the bot is started, and it's basically guiding me through what it can do, and then it's asking me, okay, what can I help with? I will start by requesting a leave. Sure. Employee will be back with fresh perspectives and ideas. These are all things that, of course, can be fully customized, right? Every chatbot needs its own tone of voice, and this is where Evosys and BotSupply can also help in customizing the chatbot to your own specific needs. So here it's asking me, when is the leave period? Let's say the whole month of July. But someone is getting maybe not really, but let's see what happens if I click on yes. Thank you. It's a very kind chatbot, and of course, the actions that will be performed will also change based on the company policies. So once again, this conversation may actually change based on your internal policies. Let's see what else I can do. Maybe I can look into my upcoming leaves. So here, what's happening is that when I click on upcoming leaves, the chatbot is going back to my HCM instance and fetching basically the information, my own information, and telling me, in real time, what kind of scheduled leaves I have in the future. I can also, for example, just how much time off did I take the last 3 months? So I can also interact with the chatbot on a free text basis, leveraging what is called natural language processing, which is basically the ability of the machine to understand human inputs and human text. I can also try to ask, for example, who is my HR manager? Here I can get information. I could also get information maybe about other employees, other colleagues as well, and maybe we can go into the very last example, and maybe just check my leave balance. How much do I have left for this year? As you see, I can also ask about some other colleagues, but for the sake of simplicity, I will just check my own. And once again, what's happening behind the scene is that the chatbot is going via APIs, connecting to my own HCM profile and finding this information. Once again, this is a very basic demo for now. Everything here that you see here can be fully customized on your own specific needs. What is important to say is that all the connections between the chatbot and your HCM instance, that is something standard, that is something that comes out of the box, and that is something that comes in 27 different languages. And just to give a quick overview on how simple actually it is to manage, build, and deploy an Oracle HCM chatbot, I just want to show you very quick our own CMS And for example, so we have different sections. This is the flow section. What is a flow? Basically, the flow is the conversation, right? That we want to design, and we want the chatbot to guide us through. Then we have integrations. We have the dataset. Once again, where we can train the chatbot in 27 languages. All the datasets will come out of the box based on which language you will choose. You can deploy it on different channels. For this demo, I chose Facebook Messenger. We can deploy it on. We've been talking about voice, so we can also deploy it on Google Home, WhatsApp, wherever we want it to be. But if I, just create a new flow, maybe it's about us, and this is where maybe the HR manager wants to go and share information about the company itself, right? So I think, I hope it's very simple for everyone, and to understand how easy it is to actually go in and design a conversation, and in images, text, custom integrations, really without any kind of coding skill required. So this is it for the live demo. Since we are running out of time, Arpan, if you agree, I would go back to maybe a Q&A. If people have questions, if our attendees have questions, I would love to take them.
Yeah, sure. I tried to answer most of the questions on the chat itself, but we'll be again more than happy to answer any more questions if you have. So there were a few questions, Francisco, about whether the chatbot can use voice as an input rather than the demo that you showed wherein you were typing or selecting options.
Absolutely. So in that case, we would deploy what is called the speech to text engine that allows the employee, in this case, to talk with the bot, and then the bot will understand, will basically decode from voice to text and provide an answer back. So basically what you have done already with Siri, as per the example that you mentioned.
Right. There's one more question which talks about integrating this with the on-premise application. So yes, I mean, you can integrate this with any on-premise or cloud applications, and it can work seamlessly with Oracle as well as non-Oracle platforms too. Now, there are people who are asking about if we have any free trial period to use the chatbot. Francisco?
What we usually do, it's not really a free trial, because each and every chatbot needs to be somehow customized to the needs of the enterprise. What we usually tend to do maybe is small POCs where we can show the value of the solution in a matter of days, but a free trial not yet.
The solution, there is a question about solution hosting. Can we host it in Oracle OCI or Oracle Cloud? So yes, as Francisco initially mentioned, we've been awarded at ISV of the Year. So you can host the entire solution or the chatbot on Oracle Cloud, which will require you to buy hosting service from Oracle, and we would deploy the chatbot on Oracle Cloud so that you don't have to have your own infrastructure.
Exactly. And worst case scenario, we also run, of course, on the Oracle infrastructure, on Oracle Cloud. So basically, no matter what, the bot will be deployed on the Oracle Cloud. Then the point is whether it's going to be on the BotSupply's instance or on the customer instance. But no matter what, it's always going to be an Oracle Cloud solution.
So there's another question on the authentication side. So I have a question from Mohammed Shamir. talking about how authentication and authorization works. So what I can say is it can adopt or it can pick up any single sign-on methodology that you have for your organization, or it can work with Oracle single sign-on. So the authentication and authorization can purely depend on what your organization is using, and chatbot can easily adopt that. Or in some cases, if you want to have an external authentication, we can do that as well. In some cases, we've also integrated that with WhatsApp. So we used one-time password, which is sent on the mobile for authentication. More questions?
If we don't have any other questions, Arpan, maybe we can quickly show some other inspirations of what chatbots can do, especially when integrated with the Oracle ecosystem. We can look at support chatbots fully integrated with any kind of Oracle Commerce or Oracle service, field service or service cloud instance. We work with the marketing bots, especially for lead generation and conversion. These bots can be fully integrated with BlueKai, Responses, and Eloqua, for example. Same for sales bots. We have a lot of cases actually with IT support bots, so internal solutions fully integrated with, again, service cloud. ERP bots, that's also something where you have a lot of experience, Arpan. So any kind of questions about finance, procurement, project management, fully integrated with all the different ERP modules, and the same for supply chain management. So there are a lot of things that can actually be done when working on top of the Oracle ecosystem, and we can basically help with any kind of solution. That was it from my side.
Yeah, so when we look at these different chatbots, these are not all independent chatbots. As an example, if you have requirement for 4 different chatbots, including SCM, HR, finance, and then planning and budgeting, for example. So you don't need to have 4 different instances, or you don't need to have 4 different windows. You can, if I have access to all these 4 applications, I will directly work from this chatbot one common window, and I can ask any questions. It will automatically reroute to the right backend application based on the context that I'm asking. So it's basically ease of use for the end user. They just have to look at one chat window, and all their queries or actionables can be initiated from there itself. There was one more question which talked about integrating OTBI to show the graphs as responses instead of numbers. So yes, what I can do is we can integrate with the application, but not pick up graph from there. So what chatbot can beautifully do is it can pick the numbers from the backend, render a graph on the run, and show it to the end user, and the end user can interact with the graph then. So yes, you can show the reports or dashboards in terms of graphs or in terms of numbers as you want to show it. Or even you can also create a link which can be sent to your inbox, or a PDF file that can be sent to your inbox for the reporting part. Yes, we can also integrate with Microsoft SSO solutions. If we have Microsoft SSO, then we can integrate that with that single sign-on. So, Francisco, do you want to talk about the cost of the solution here? If you want to just give a quick highlight or overview about the implementation or the overall solution cost.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're coming up with, as we mentioned before, is what we call bot as a service, our BaaS offering, and especially for for the first 5 customers for the first 5 attendees that we request information from this webinar. We have a special offer that goes. It's a 1-year subscription to one of the solutions that we presented today. It's a $25,000, including, once again, a 1 year of subscription for the chatbot to be live. And it also includes the initial customization and implementation tailored to your your needs. It's something that can go live in a matter of 3 to 5 weeks, the latest. Once again, because we have all the connections ready behind, out of the box. So for the first 5 customers, we have this special offer, $25,000 to get started with an ERP, an HCM, or an SCM chatbot on top of your Oracle applications.
Correct. So that includes your license cost as well as the implementation cost for one of the services. So there is just one question here that talks about, is there any security concern to be considered? Francisco, do you want to take that part?
I can take that part, but as you mentioned, I mean, there is a pretty, reliable authentication layer built by Oracle, so that whenever there is a bot deployed on top of your HCM instance, there is an authentication layer that actually makes sure that every person gets access to the information that he or she needs to access, and that no one external to the company actually can use the chatbot, right? So that is taken care by Oracle when it comes to infrastructure and the security, the scalability of the solution. That is also taken care by Oracle, right? Because as we mentioned, our CMS, the BotSupply Content Management System, is built on top of the Oracle Digital Assistant. So it's an additional layer that makes it easier to use and available in 27 languages. So the whole technology stack, basically the whole infrastructure, is taken care by Oracle. So I guess that if you already trust Oracle for your ERP, HCM, CX, SaaS solutions, I don't really think there should be anything to be worried about when looking at a chatbot. So yeah,
right. So when it is a cloud environment, let's say you have a cloud application, then the cloud instance is public cloud, obviously, and we can integrate, or we can use the same authentication mechanism that is being used by your cloud or SaaS application to be used by the chatbot. And when it comes to on-premise application, we can integrate that with either the VPN connectivity that you have, or if you want to have external authentication, as I said, using one-time password sent to your mobile phone, or if you want to access that from a secured environment using your VPN system, we can do that as well. So when it comes to on-premise applications, again, we would want people to access the information from any place, because that is the entire purpose of a chatbot. But if you want to restrict it within your network, you can still do that. I mean, so that's how the security or authentication is pretty much flexible in order to adopt your current organization policy. Or if you don't have one, we can do an external authentication as well. Do we have any more questions, or we can close the session today?
I don't see any other question on my chat interface here.
Okay, sounds good. So thanks a lot, everyone. We'll be more than happy to connect with you again, and we can get in touch with you guys after this session. So as Francisco rightly mentioned, we have an early bird offer, so people who have joined on the webinar. So we would like to extend this offer to the first 5 or even 7 customers who are on this webinar, to give them a bundled offer, which is a very, very small number, $25,000. And this includes the license as well as the implementation price for one of the services.
Exactly. So it's a very good offer compared to what you will find in the market. So 5 to 7 spots, and we really look forward to getting in touch with you. No matter what, all the attendees will receive a recording of the webinar, together with all the contact information to get in touch with us if you have any additional question that maybe you haven't had the chance to ask this morning. Perfect. Then I really want to thank all the attendees that took 1 hour of their time to join us today. Thank you, Arpan, and we really hope to connect with you very soon.